Hi, I'm Mark Macdonald, world-renowned nutrition and fitness expert and New York Times best-selling author. I've spent my career launching global movements and helping empower millions of people to live with food freedom. This is what the NIL House Nutrition is all about, your epicenter for all things nutrition.
Hello, Mark Macdonald here, and welcome to the NIL House Nutrition, your epicenter for all things nutrition. Now, this is our first show, and I'm just so excited to be in our set. This is a live kitchen, and what this show is gonna be, it's gonna allow you to really understand from a body, from a mind, from a lifestyle side, how to win with your food and actually experience food freedom for yourself, for your friends, and for your family. You know, my background, I'm a nutritionist, I'm a kinesiologist. I've traveled the world. I've launched movements in 66 countries. I've helped millions of people. But this show on BRINX TV, it's a dream come true because people are struggling. We know that over 75% of the adult American population are either overweight or obese. We know that over 50% have insulin sensitivity or are diabetic. People are looking for real solutions, whether it's kids, whether it's teenagers, whether it's adults, whatever your age. This show is going to be your guidance. We're going to bring the best experts from around the world to empower you. And I know no more than myself. When I think about my own story as a collegiate athlete, as a soccer player, when I was 7 years old, walking into my mom's bedroom, seeing her crying on her bed because she failed again at dieting. My mom was a chronic dieter. She would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And every time, it was like a piece of her confidence went away. She was willing to do the work. It wasn't my mom's fault. She just didn't have the education. She didn't have the knowledge. She didn't have this show. She didn't have this show to listen and have the epicenter for all things nutrition. I then watched my father, who passed away in 2016, suffer with massive digestive challenges. We're gonna have Dr. Anna Toker, one of the world's best digestive surgeons, having a part of a recurring segment on this show called Gut Check to help you live with digestion power, to actually help reduce that inflammation. I remember myself as an athlete, eating whatever I wanted and training hard and staying lean. And the moment that I stopped playing soccer, I put on 60 pounds in 6 months, from 190 to 250. And I remember being desperate and starving myself and going on a ketogenic diet and taking my body fat down to 3% and being one of the top fitness model in LA, looking amazing and feeling horrible. In 1997, I realized there should be a better way, that you can actually understand how to, rather than using food to lose weight, but actually understand how to balance your blood sugar, use food to create balance of your hormones. And when you do that, whatever your goal, whether you want to lose weight, burn body fat, build muscle, have more energy, improve your immunity, age with power, this show, this content that we're going to be driving, body, mind, lifestyle, is designed to allow you to live your greatest health. So we are excited. I'm excited to share the epicenter for all things nutrition, and I'm honored to bring on our first guest, who's my partner in our movement called PFC3, protein, fats, carbohydrates every 3 hours, which you're gonna learn about so much. But it's beyond body. As I've traveled around the world and I talked about people and they understand their food, sometimes people get great results, but then they say, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it, or life gets in the way, because the mindset matters. In our show, we're gonna have body segments, we're gonna have mind segments, and we're gonna have lifestyle segments. But the leader of our mind segments is world-renowned behavioral specialist, fellow nutritionist. We created our PFC3 movement together. There is no one better in the world to talk about nutrition and mindset than the one and only Carrie Mark. Carrie, are you excited for the NIL House Nutrition, the epicenter of all things nutrition?
It is like just such a dream come true, Mark. I am so excited that we're doing this together, and that we're literally going to change the way the world looks at food and their bodies so that they can go do the things they're supposed to do in this world.
100%. And what I love about that is you said how the world looks at food. And that's the thing. Mm-hmm. As you dive into the show every single day, as you're watching it on BRINX TV, as you're experiencing, it's about you understanding how to love your food, but also improving your relationship with food. Carrie, when we think about mindset and your own story, I know that this is taking you from this. Your story inspires me and touches my heart every single day. How did you understand how to shift your relationship with food?
Well, it really all started on the last day of my college athletic career. I was a Division I college cheerleader, and my weight mattered. all the time. So there was no hiding it. And I remember that very last day, I went to my college job and we all ordered pizza. And I couldn't eat the pizza that we ordered. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but all I realized was if I eat the pizza, I'll be fat. And if I'm fat, I have no value because everything was around my size. And it was that started this whole entire journey of self-discovery of an eating disorder, and also really just trying to figure out how to be eventually the best mom I could be to be able to impact my kids effectively. And so, Mark, all of this, what we've learned really helps. I think what our stories are going to help everybody.
Yeah, and what I love about that, Carrie, when you talk about the story, about when you were sitting there at the kitchen, just like a kitchen counter like this, and your two young girls said, "Mommy can't eat pizza because she's concerned, she's scared she's going to get fat." And I think that's the mistake or that's a challenge we all have. We look at food as good or bad, and the reality is food is not good or bad. It's all about your relationship with it. So when we think about the mindset, Carrie, what can people expect from you in every show in this mind segment? What are the nuggets you're going to be sharing with them?
Well, as a behavior specialist, it was like I knew that my thinking was off for so many years, and yet it was really hard to coach yourself. And so once I got support and I got help and I started helping other people, I realized that it wasn't just about the food. If we all don't realize that our thoughts and our beliefs dictate our actions, and we really dig into what those thoughts and beliefs are, we're never going to change for the long term. And so not just for myself, but for my daughters who actually were talking about calories back when they were 5 and 6 years old, I had to make a change, and it is my passion and mission that everybody starts to see exactly what it takes to be able to transform your life, live with food freedom, and understand that it's more, we're not just going to give you a meal plan here. We're going to educate you so you understand what your body needs and what your mind needs, because the two work hand in hand. And Mark, that's why we partner together, because what you've done with food over the years and what I've been able to do with people to help them really take a hold of their thinking so that they could truly implement this forever. This is what this is all about. And as former athletes, the two of us, I think, have a perspective that is really going to impact a lot of people, at least I hope.
Yeah, 100%. And the power about this, Carrie, is that we're bringing the world's best, as you know, from around the world. New segments from your digestion, from your fascia relief, to live uncaged with Dan Miller, to flip the switch with Rex Grange. So many incredible thought leaders that's going to be part of our entire NIL House, the epicenter for all things nutrition, right here. So get ready, because this is going to be a show that you're going to want to tune into every single day. And guess what? Our next segment right after the break is about understanding why dieting fails. We want to empower you, and we want to show you there's a better way than to starve yourself, than restrict carbohydrates. You can actually forever live with food freedom. Come right back. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah, it's your boy Present, and I'm here to break down the step-by-step process for earning your BRINX bucks, your Brinkies, like a pro. First things first, you got to tune in to BRINX TV's incredible slate of content. And let me tell you, they got some fire programming. The secret here is you earn Brinkies just by watching. That's right, you get paid to watch dope content. Cheesecake up and couch down. It don't get no better than that. Next up, you got to interact, engage, and get involved. The more you participate, the more you earn. So hit up those trivia cues, those polls. Once you've racked up some serious Brinkies, it's time to hit up the BRINX store and cop some merch. From cheesecake to clothing to cheesecake to collectibles, they've got a wide range of dope items that you can purchase with your Brinkies. Not only will you look fresh, but you'll be supporting the movement and investing in yourself. Now, here's the secret sauce, the insider tip that only my inner circle knows about. Hit the magic X, and you'll have the opportunity to multiply your Brinkies and level up your game. It's like hitting the jackpot. And once you do, you'll have enough Brinkies to buy all the cheesecake your heart desires. So there you have it, the step-by-step process to earning your Brinkies. Yeah, let's get it.
Our planet may be home to 30 million different kinds of networks and streaming platforms, each locked in its own lifelong fight for survival. But there's just one that will pay you to watch TV. BRINX TV. If it's not live, it's dead.
Welcome back to the NIL House Nutrition, your epicenter for all things nutrition. Now, we've all done it before, or most of us have. We've dieted. And we hit that pain point where the scale, that number's a little too high. You look in the mirror and you say, what can I do? Or you feel like you have a big vacation or a wedding to get ready for. And we restrict. We cut the carbohydrates. We cut all the additional calories, and we go all in. And then we get a result. We feel a little bit better. We hit the event that we wanted to, or people start complimenting, hey, you look a little better, or this and that. And then you start to reintroduce everything you took away, and then you recycle the whole aspect again. This is called yo-yo dieting. Dieting is always gonna fail you. And whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s and beyond, what we wanna help you with this program, what we wanna help you with this show is to empower you with your body to focus on how to love your food and not use food to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, you will, but use food to create hormonal balance by balancing your blood sugar. So we're going to expose the dieting world right now, and we're going to focus on exactly little shifts you can make that allow you to let go of dieting, let go of restriction, and actually empower your body and your metabolism. And there's no better person to do that than Carrie Mark. So Carrie, jump on in. I know that we both have worked with so many people through the years that have been dieters. Now, when you think about dieting, and especially, when we think about women, and you think about as you enter your 40s and your 50s, and people, their metabolism starts to slow down. Why do you see so many challenges with people when they diet, and then they hit a point where they really get frustrated and they start losing their confidence?
Well, let's get on the same page about what dieting is, because we have to understand that dieting is anytime you're needing to restrict yourself from a macronutrient or from eating in general. And the thing is, when we think about what dieting really means, it's that restriction. But we think we've tried all these different things. We think we've tried keto, intermittent fasting, counting points and calories and all of that stuff. They're all just the same wolf in all sorts of different sheep's clothing. They're all the same thing. And what ends up happening is when we're younger, we have a really high metabolism. It's called a low set point. And so our set point is kind of like that thermometer. You know, when you have you set the house for 70 degrees and the air conditioning kicks on and it stops at 70 degrees? That's like your set point. And when we're younger, we have a lower set point. And so part of the problem with a lot of either athletes or kids that worry about their weight, they just stop eating and it quote unquote works for a little while. Right? And so that is because they have a low set point. But the more and more we diet and deprive ourselves, think about it. What thrives in a deficit? Nothing. But every single time we deprive ourselves, we think we could muscle through it. Our body won't let us. Our blood sugar is all out of whack and our metabolism is going to start to slow down. That means our set point is going to raise up. So every single time we diet, we actually have to eat less and less to be able to try to lose weight. But it will not work in the long term because our set point will just keep rising. And so every time you've ever done any sort of a restrictive diet, it will fail you because every time you're starting off and we're almost like this new low, this metabolism that's slower and slower, and your body's doing it to try to save you, to try to be your best friend. It's trying to protect you. And the thing is, we keep thinking because it quote unquote worked before, it will work again. But it really depends on what your definition of working means. And if your definition of working means that you are going to throw off your balance, you're going to crave food, you're not going to sleep well, you're not going to have energy, you're going to lose weight for maybe a little while, only to gain it all back plus some, well, yeah, all the diets have worked. But that is what we are not going to do here. We're going to teach you how not to diet. I mean, Mark, to me, this is the foundational information that people need to know. If they do nothing else, I want people to never diet again.
Exactly. And I think that's our biggest takeaway right now, and write this down, is what's your definition of what works? Because that's where we want to get to. We want to empower you and educate you on what's going to actually work for your body and ignite your metabolism. Now, the shift is from dieting. So think about all the past, as Carrie was talking about, all of the stuff you've done, and that set point keeps getting higher and higher, and you hit the point where nothing works anymore. Well, we're going to teach you how to reprogram your body with our body segments. We're going to give you daily education, daily tips that's going to allow you to build it at 1% progress. And it's going to start with this called PFC. PFC, protein, fats, carbs. We're going to balance your blood sugar. I want you to imagine this. And you can just do this as we're standing. Every time you skip a meal, your blood sugar drops. When you go on that diet, your blood sugar drops and that willpower kicks in. But guess what? Eventually that willpower cracks. Every time you skip a meal, you're slowing down your metabolism. Your body has to burn muscle, not as much fat. It can't convert fat fast enough to feed the brain the sugar it needs. And then that next meal, you don't crave chicken, you crave carbohydrates. That spikes your blood sugar and makes you store fat. What we're going to empower you is real strategies on how to live with food freedom. Eat your protein, eat your fat, eat your carbs. Proteins, your chicken, your beef, your fish, or if you're doing plant-based like pea protein or hemp protein. Or and then we think about your fats, your avocados, your nuts, your seeds, your peanut butter. Then we think directly about your carbohydrates, your fruits, your vegetables, your brown rice, your potatoes, foods that you love to balance your blood sugar. And when you do that, you release your stored fat and that fat gets burned up in your muscles. So whatever your goal, you're going to be able to live with food freedom. Carrie, when we think about blood sugar, how have you seen this transform the people you work with throughout the years?
Well, this is the thing. This will do all the things that we always wanted those diets to do, but they never did. When we balance our blood sugar, it's literally your body's love language. That is the foundation of everything. When you get really hungry and you're hangry, it's because your blood sugar is low, like Mark said. But also, we struggle with all sorts of aspects of our health when our blood sugar is dysregulated. From aging to diabetes to anxiety, depression. And in fact, 9 out of 10 deaths today are due to a metabolic disease like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, even stroke and cancer can be all completely related to a dysregulated blood sugar. So diets will actually dysregulate your blood sugar. It will throw everything off, including your hormones. And for women like me who are going through menopause, there's nothing more important than making sure your hormones are feeling regulated. But also we have to make sure that if our blood sugar is stabilized, we can live without any of those cravings and added energy and do all the things that we wanted diets to do, but not feel deprived. It's amazing.
I love this. And this is what the NIL House Nutrition, your epicenter for all things nutrition, is bringing you. Body coaching, mindset coaching. And after the break, we're going to dive into lifestyle. Not just give you the nuggets that you can implement every single day, but show you how to apply it when you're at work, when you're at home, and when you're on the go. So get ready. We're going to dive into your lifestyle right after the break. See you soon.
The fortune to meet some of the planet's most enchanting creatures, but some stand out more than others. Meet John and Rob. Majestic beings who have traversed thousands of miles through the most treacherous of terrains to be here today so that they could bring you the latest and greatest news and analysis from the world of NIL. This is the NIL House, only on BRINX TV. If it's not live, it's dead.
Yeah, it's your boy present, and I'm here to drop some knowledge on how you can earn those BRINX bucks. It's simple. Just tune in, cop some merch, and get involved. And before you know it, you'll be stacking dem coins. Here's the lowdown on how it works. 1 BRINX buck for every minute watched. 1 BRINX buck for every dollar spent in the shop. And 1 BRINX buck for every interaction. It's easy money, and the Brinkies add up quick. But hold up, the real secret sauce is hidden behind that magical X. Hit it, and you'll unlock a whole new level of BRINX bucks. It's like hitting the jackpot, and once you do, the sky's the limit. You'll have enough BRINX bucks to cop all the dope merch, live like a boss, and indulge in all your guilty pleasures. I'ma get myself some cheesy cheesecake, so what are you waiting for? Tune in, cop some merch, get involved, and hit that X. It's time to level up, stack up, and get that money. Yeah, BRINX TV. Get paid to watch TV. Present out.
Welcome back to the NIL House Nutrition, your epicenter for all things nutrition. Now, we kicked off this show talking about mind, talking about body, but now we really want to think about how do you make this work in your home life, in your work life, on the go. And this is where lifestyle matters so much. And we're going to start with 4 parts of life. I want you to think about your health, your lifestyle, your relationship, and your profession. Unfortunately, when diets attack us, we sacrifice everything. We don't go out. We work less hours. We focus on just our health. And then think about like a glass of water. And if a glass of water is full and you add a lot more to it, that water starts to spill over. Well, that's exactly what happens when you achieve a result. All those things that you neglected start to push back. This is why dieting fails you. What we want to focus on in lifestyle is teach you real solutions, real nuggets that you can improve 1% a day in your health, in your lifestyle, in your relationships, in your profession, so you're balanced. Now, I know perfectly balanced 25, 25, 25, 25 isn't realistic for everybody. But if you have this skill set, if you understand how to go back and forth and how to manage it, you can truly live a great health. You can live with amazing energy every single day. You can feel your best. Wherever you sit right now in your health, I want you to imagine, forecast that vision of where you can be. And it starts with your lifestyle. So of course, I'm going to bring Carrie Lipoli in. Carrie, when we think about health and profession and lifestyle and relationships, these 4 parts of life, they all intertwine. Why is it so hard to be consistent with our nutrition?
Well, so often people will say, oh, I just don't have time, or I'll get started when blank, work slows down, or there's just a lot going on right now. And we keep thinking that nutrition and getting healthy is going to have to take up a big chunk of our lives. And so let's face it, if you were in the dieting world, it did. You restricted yourself. You had to think about food all the time. You felt like garbage. And when that takes over your life, you don't really want to do it until you're really motivated. But also life is crazy. And I don't know about you, but I feel like all the time I'm like, oh, it'll get better next week. It'll get better next month. And I feel like we're just going to keep doing that until we die. So we have to actually decide, draw a line in the sand right now and say, okay, if I'm really going to make changes, I have to be able to get this as part of my lifestyle. This doesn't mean it's an add-on. It means it's a part of who you are, a part of your identity. And I think part of the problem is we compare ourselves to other people. We look at what other people are doing and like, well, I can't do that. Or, well, she doesn't have the number of kids that I have. Or, yeah, sure, but she's not working full time. Or he's, in school. And we keep comparing and then justifying why we can't go do those things. At the end of the day, we all have the same amount of time, 168 hours in a week, and we get to use them in a way that is balanced. So even if it's at 1% of time, we can show up for ourselves. And if we stop comparing ourselves to other people, because I always say, comparison is the thief of all joy, right? And that self-awareness is really health. Comparison is just about self-consciousness at the end of the day. And we feel self-conscious about who we are, so we don't show up for ourselves in the way we need to. And that's really where the disease is. When we're self-conscious about ourselves and comparing ourselves to others and not feeling confident, we're never going to get there. But when we are self-aware and we can say, okay, listen, I've got to find a way to put this into my lifestyle and be aware of some of these kinds of excuses that we're sitting on, that's going to bring us 1% closer to actually doing something about it. It's got to be a part of our lifestyle, Mark, though, because if it isn't, we're never going to do it forever.
Yeah, and what I love about this is I love about when you talk about self-awareness, and I think about, let's break it down, Carrie. Let's actually make it tangible for people, 1%. Yeah. I think about Hunter, our 18-year-old son, and Hope, our 8-year-old daughter. Abby, myself, Hunter, and Hope, we take our health, okay, we live healthy. But then a family walk, now we're bringing relationship and lifestyle together. So when you start living this way, everything starts to flow. Think about your health, not as something you need to do, but something that you want to do. Think about your health as something that is worth investing in, because everything has a cost or payoff, but is the juice worth the squeeze? If you ever squeeze orange juice, and I don't know, like it's a blood sugar spiker, but it's a lot of work. But is the juice worth the squeeze? And when you think about your health, anything you want to be great at, you need to make time for it. What we're going to help you with lifestyle are real life hacks, real life strategies that will speak to you where you are. Carrie, what's the one thing that you do with Grace, Ellie, and Peter that allows you to work your health with your lifestyle and your relationships?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we do is model a healthy lifestyle. We have teenagers now, so they make a lot of their own choices. But when things are a routine, you don't have to think about them as much. And so Peter and I, every single morning at 7 o'clock, we work out. That is part of our routine. Our kids know it, they see it, and we model it for them. They make their own choices, but that's part of our lifestyle. And it's so simple now because we don't have to actually think about it. It's just kind of what we do. And this is what we mean. Like, it's got to be integrated into your life. My kids and us, we all take turns on walking the dog. It's part of our lifestyle. Who's going to walk the dog? And I know that we're all getting in a walk to make sure that not only are dogs being walked, but we're all getting outside and doing those things too. Little tiny things that we model for our kids matters, but also how can we work it into our lives as a non-negotiable? It can't be something we add on if we have time. This has to be something because how we spend our days actually translates into how we spend our weeks, our months, and then eventually our years. So if you're sitting there going, it's been so long, I keep meaning to show up or to get healthy, recognize that what you do today will set the stage for years down the road.
I love that. And that's really when we think about why this show matters. There's so much information out there. And we launched this show on BRINX TV, the NIL House Nutrition, the epicenter for all things nutrition, to sort through the noise, to speak to you, not just from a body side, not just from a mind side, but from a lifestyle side as well, so that you can win. And that's the focus for you right now. As we launch our first episode, it's about you starting where you are. So much of what we're going to do is focus on 1% progress. Because imagine if you can improve 1% every single day. 1%, maybe you're sleeping 5 more minutes, maybe you're walking 3 more minutes, maybe you're getting that balanced lunch in, maybe you're getting a mid-afternoon shake-in or some quick little PFC-free meal. The whole goal here is if you can improve 1% a day, and you can do that over 100 days, 200 days, 300 days, but over 100 days, it's 100%. That's what the focus is. But the show is to speak to you where you are. Decide now to let go of the past, to start where you are. Draw your line in the sand and realize this. There's many things you can't control in this world. The one thing you can is how you choose to take care of yourself. The NIL House Nutrition is here to stay. It is the #1 nutrition show coming your way. The epicenter for all things nutrition. Let's go. And remember, start where you are. The fun's just getting started. Stop. We all just need to stop the dieting madness. Dieting doesn't work forever. There's a better way.
Let's go. We ready for anything given. I'm talking buried equipment.
I'm Mark Macdonald, world-renowned nutrition and fitness expert and New York Times best-selling author. And I'm here to finally put an end to the dieting madness.
We're ready at all times and go.
The NIL House Nutrition is going to help you improve your health through one key process, balancing your blood sugar, which will lead you to food freedom. One of the top performance coaches in the world, from a world-renowned digestive surgeon, the 2 best mindset coaches right here, one with food, one with performance, side by side.
I hadn't been thinking about this as a behavior change.
The lining of the intestinal tract protects you from actual acid and actual poison.
So many times we get caught in the emotions of life that we're never what we feel, we're always what we decide.
You dropped 82 pounds, but the weight wasn't the focus. The focus was shifting your relationship with food.
I learned how to fuel my body properly.
People are looking for real solutions. This show is your solution.
Both eyes on the goal, I'm turning the tide.
I really hope the entire world gets to hear what you have to say to them, Mark, because this is long overdue.
Turning the tide.
This is the NIL House Nutrition, your epicenter for all things nutrition, only on BRINX TV.
I got my both eyes on the goal, I'm turning the tide.